What if success isn't what you think? There is this huge problem that many people have in their lives, and it is all because they believe success is what they think it is. So let me ask you the question, what do you think success is? What does it mean to be successful? Well, if you're like most people, you probably think success is something you can physically touch. For some, it may be a car or a house or an amount of money in your bank account. Maybe it's starting a business or getting a promotion at work or having more followers on Instagram. And so we spend our days chasing after these physical things. We work day and night, sacrificing our time and energy until eventually we get them. And when we do, we feel good for about 2 minutes before we realize it wasn't exactly what we expected. We start to crave more and more, thinking that this next thing we want will make us happier. So we chase after it, and this cycle continues over and over again throughout our entire lives. But what if success isn't what you think it is? What if the meaning of success doesn't lie in these physical things, but rather in something much deeper within ourselves? In today's video, I'm going to go over 3 reasons why success isn't what you think it is. By understanding these concepts, you'll be able to transform your perspective on life and achieve true success. 1. The success trap. Have you ever heard of the term monkey mind? This refers to how our minds are constantly jumping from one thought to the next, never allowing us to truly be present. Well, something interesting I learned while reading the book Caught and Hurt Me by David Goggins is that the Navy SEALs have a saying that goes, "Slow is smooth and smooth is fast." They use this to describe how important it is to focus on one task at a time and complete it before moving on to the next. He then relates this to how we operate mentally and says that we need to quiet the monkey mind and force it to be still. The way we do this is through meditation, which allows us to access a state called flow. Flow is a state of intense focus and complete immersion in whatever it is that you're doing. When you're in a state of flow, time seems to disappear and you feel completely and utterly focused. It's almost as if there's a spotlight shining directly onto the thing that you're doing. Everything else in the world simply fades away. Now, most people only experience this state of flow when they're doing something they really enjoy, like playing a video game, watching a movie, having sex, or hanging out with friends. But what if we could learn to enter this state of flow on demand? Well, it turns out that we can, and the Navy SEALs practice this every single day. When you train yourself to be able to enter into this state of flow at any time, it's like giving yourself a superpower. It's like you have the ability to turn on a switch inside of your brain that allows you to hyper-focus on whatever it is that you're doing. The reason why this is so powerful is because you're able to get way more done in less amount of time. And not only that, but you're also able to push yourself past your limits and achieve things that you never thought were possible. David Goggins talks about how he would intentionally put himself into a state of flow when he was training to become a Navy SEAL. He would visualize himself completing the most difficult training exercises and would enter into a state of flow where he was so focused that nothing else mattered. And guess what? His visualization paid off. He was able to successfully complete the toughest training exercises and become a Navy SEAL. Okay, now back to the topic at hand. Imagine if every single day you were able to enter into this state of flow and hyper-focus on achieving your goals. You'd be unstoppable, but here's the kicker. In order to do this, you have to first realize that success isn't what you think it is. You see, we've been conditioned to believe that success is something that happens to other people, that it's something that just happens to you randomly and out of the blue. But the truth is that success is something that you create for yourself. It's not something that happens to you, it's something that you do. Once you realize this, you'll be able to take control of your life and create the success that you want. Now let me ask you a question. What if success is what you think it is, and you're someone who has everything that you ever wanted, fame, fortune, recognition, the works? But then one day you wake up and realize that none of it matters because you're not happy. You're lonely, you're depressed, you don't feel fulfilled. In fact, you feel worse than ever. Now, I know this might sound like a cliche story, but it's actually something that happens all the time. How many famous celebrities or rich business people do you know that have taken their own lives? How many successful athletes do you know that are dealing with addiction or depression? The point is that success isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Sometimes it can be a lonely and meaningless journey. And that's why it's important to have something to hold on to, some sort of higher purpose that gives your life meaning. Without it, you're doomed to fail, to a lack of meaning. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you worked, no matter how much you achieved, it just wasn't enough? Like there was something missing in your life? If so, you might be experiencing a lack of meaning. A lack of meaning is when you don't have a sense of purpose or direction in your life. You might feel like a small fish in a big pond, just another face in the crowd, or like your life is meaningless and doesn't matter. But here's the thing, even if you have all the money and success in the world, it won't matter if you don't have a sense of meaning in your life. That's because we humans are meaning makers. It's in our nature to try and find meaning in everything that we do. And so if we don't have a sense of meaning in our lives, we'll start to feel lost and directionless. And that's why it's so important to have something to believe in, some sort of higher purpose that gives your life meaning. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be a religious or spiritual belief. It could be anything that gives your life meaning, like a cause or a charity that you're passionate about. For example, let's say you want to start a business. Sure, you could do it just for the sake of making money, but what if instead you could start a business that also makes a positive impact on the world? What if you could start a business that helps people while also making a profit? That's what I did when I started my own business. I wanted to create a business that helped men become the best versions of themselves while also making a profit. And so that's what I did. I created a platform that provides men with the tools they need to become the best versions of themselves. 3. Losing yourself. Do you remember the last time you were so focused on achieving your goals that you forgot to enjoy the journey? We often get so caught up in what we want to achieve that we forget to appreciate what we have right now. We sacrifice our present happiness for the sake of future success. But what if success isn't what we think it is? What if the journey is just as important, if not more important, than the destination? What if we're supposed to enjoy the journey, not just the destination? The truth is that we can't have one without the other. We can't experience true success without also experiencing the journey. So the next time you're working towards a goal, take a step back and appreciate what you have right now. Enjoy the journey and don't just focus on the end result. And that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed these 3 reasons why success isn't what you think it is. Remember that success is more than just material possessions or external achievements. It's also about finding meaning and purpose in your life. As you strive to achieve your goals, don't forget to appreciate the journey and don't lose sight of what truly matters. And if you want to dive deeper into this topic, I highly recommend checking out the video How to Find Your Purpose in Life. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.